This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
It should come as no surprise to anybody that Republicans are hateful. Republicans are bigots. I have said many times, and I will continue to say it many more times, that the Republican Party is the largest, most organized white supremacy organization on the planet. I say it because it is true, and I challenge you to prove me wrong. All the evidence is in. All the data has been compiled. They're filled with bigots. And they're also bereft of a legislative agenda. While they try to damage and claw back rights, they talk about individual liberty. It's a buzzword for them, but it's all a prop for Republicans. Because what they actually care about is oppressing people in minority stations in this country, whether it be women, white or black people in America, and LGBTQ people. That's the agenda. That's if they can get everything done, that's what it will surround, without doubt. There's an ancillary thing about, making rich people richer and cutting their taxes and making sure the working class really foot the bill in this country. Sure, there's that too. But it's about oppression. Even that is about oppression. And this stupid bill that the GOP, I'm going to read maybe for the first time from a Fox News article, but this bill really gets to the heart of what the Republicans think about what their job is as leaders and lawmakers. This article, GOP bill, says only the American flag can fly over U.S. embassies. No more Pride or BLM flags. And maybe the last sentence of the article, really deep into the article, there's this sentence. Those decisions led to Republican criticisms that flying anything other than the American flag was a political statement that shouldn't be made by official U.S. embassies. Specifically in this article, we're going to be talking about the Pride flag and the Black Lives Matter flag. And it tells you, one, where the journalistic editorial bent of Fox News is, but also of Republicans in general, that they would claim, they would with their mouths say this, that a pride flag is a political statement acknowledging and celebrating the existence of gay people, of trans people, of queer people in general is political. Let that sink in. That acknowledging that Black Lives Matter, that's political. Stop being political. It's, hey, listen, I don't think that unarmed black men should die at the hands of police at wildly disproportionate numbers. Hey, stop being political, Jesse. That's where Republicans are. I'm going to read a little bit from this. We'll skip around. I've got a whole bunch here, but it just tells you, even the name of the bill is something jingoistic and over the top. Because, it's all about, we're proud patriots in the Republican Party, even though they don't give a fuck about any of that. Reading from this article, House Republicans this week introduced legislation that would prohibit flags other than the American flag from being flown over the United States diplomatic and consular posts after the Biden administration allowed pride flags and Black Lives Matter flags to be flown from U.S. embassies. The Old Glory Only Act from Representative Jeff Duncan of South Carolina is aimed at pushing back at what the Republicans say is the politicization of U.S. embassies by the Biden administration. Quote, our beautiful flag, Old Glory, should be the only flag flying and representing our country over our diplomatic and consular posts worldwide, Duncan said this week. The American flag is a beacon of liberty, and no other flag or symbol better portrays or shares values than the stars and the stripes. It is important to ensure that Old Glory is only flown at American embassies to represent our ideals abroad, he said. A congressional aide said there have been no specific talks yet about passing the bill, but Republicans are optimistic the new GOP leadership will be open to holding a vote in light of broad GOP support for the idea. Now, the reason this is goofy and stupid is, one, because it's bigoted. It's denying the existence, which, on its face, not flying the flag isn't necessarily denying the existence or being bigoted, but we know, based on the history of the Republican Party, and even the move now to roll back marriage rights for LGBTQ people, we know how they feel about Black Americans. We've got a history since the 50s and the 60s. We know. But moreover, it's the fact that they don't have an agenda, because if they wanted to get anything actually accomplished, they wouldn't be doing nonsense like this, because this is likely this is not going to pass the Senate. It's not going to get signed by the President of the United States. So either they're doing it to score political points with their racist piece of shit base, or maybe more dangerously, they don't understand how the Congress works. Maybe we should sing the old Schoolhouse Rock song in the initiation stage, in the introduction stage to being a congressperson. I'm just a bill, Molly a bill, and it explains how it works. Because just because you pass the Old Glory Only Act doesn't mean it's going to go into effect. And if it's not going to go into effect, you're wasting your time. You're wasting everyone's time. And maybe more importantly to conservatives, you're wasting taxpayer dollars by spending time on something so stupid. And again, we'll finish with that sentence. Those decisions, the decisions of Blinken, because they go through the timeline. I'm not going to tell you to go read this article because it's on Fox News and we don't want to give them clicks, or I don't want you to give them clicks. I'm not speaking for everyone, but they give the timeline of how Mike Pompeo banned the flags, bigot Mike Pompeo. And then Anthony Blinken, the current Secretary of State, said, no, we believe in those values of support for LGBTQ people. We believe in the support of Black Americans. So we'll fly those flags. And it says it. So then this is the sentence. Those decisions of those prior secretaries of state led to Republican criticism that flying anything other than the American flag was a political statement that shouldn't be made by official U.S. embassies. So good job, Duncan, you dum-dum, you bigot. You've aligned the priorities of the Republican Party. That is just fantastic. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think out there. Am I wrong? Do you agree? We can talk about it in the comments, mix it up there agreeably, or you can call me, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. If you appreciate me and what I do, and you want to take part in this work, help produce this work, click the join button below. Become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, or you can click on over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Both those are great ways to help support this channel and this work. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere, at DOLLEMORE. I don't think I've ever spelled my name on the show. You can find me there. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Be genuine. Take care of one another.